Hey guys, we are at the Lucas Race School here in Port Richey, Florida. And as you can tell, these guys are into race cars. They're into open wheel cars, and guess what? This is a place they go all around the country and you can drive these cars. So, and it's affordable. It is. You don't have to do anything. So if you want, go to lucasraceschool.com. Sponsored by Lucas Oil, and we're going to go inside that building right there where there are like 35 to 40 race cars, and we're going to go check them out and find out more about this. So stay tuned. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. Hey guys, we are at the Lucas Oil Racing School. School of Racing. There might be a Lucas Oil Racing School, so let's make sure we're School of Racing. And we are in Newport Richey, Florida. And as I showed you before, when we were out front, we saw these trucks. And I was like, wow, Lucas Oil, which, like I said, will sponsor even if you and your neighbors have 6 go-karts, they're going to sponsor one of your neighbors because they sponsor everything in racing. But I didn't know what they did here. I assumed it was like IndyCar or SCCA from the pictures on the trucks. And now I'm here with Dave. And hey, Dave, Sean, Dever. So Dave is the chief mechanic.
Yeah.
And
I run the shop here. So
if any of you guys if you're not familiar with SCCA, and that's really one of those, do you guys do just SCCA or do you do any of the?
That's our licensing. So from here, if you want to go into SCCA, you need to earn a license to get in. And so one of the things when you take our school, then you're eligible for the first part of an SCCA license.
And just in case you guys didn't realize that SCCA, you kind of needed to get a license to race. Now, these guys are not going to teach you how to run into each other and be a driver like you'll see in the movies. You're really learning, like when I went through school many moons ago with a Model T and a horse-drawn, they teach you how to go into pits, how to pit stop, how to be safe. They're basically teaching you what to expect to be on the track and how to be safe so you're not killing somebody else on the track.
Yeah, safety's always a high priority, and then just techniques of how to
how to pick your point and how to go around
where to turn and
all that kind of stuff. What the signals mean, what somebody means, how to determine how a car is running, whether it's tight or loose or any of that stuff. All those words that you always hear on NASCAR Sunday or watching F1 or watching Indy, all the way they talk. Now, these cars, you guys, are they your design or are they one of the SCCA design?
These cars are actually made in England.
Okay.
They're based off of Formula Ford chassis.
Okay.
It's just wide. It's purpose built for us. It's a little bit wider, a little bit longer because we have everything from 11-year-olds to 70-year-olds running in our cars.
And people like me that have big giant size, 13 feet, so you don't have to put a big bump on the front like you would with an F1 car.
Can fit in.
Yeah. By the way, most of your F1 drivers, they're only like this tall.
Yeah, most of them.
Let's go. So basically all these cars, other than the color, should be the same.
Yeah, they're all the same. The only difference is where the pedals are in the cars.
Okay.
Again, like I say, we have everything from 11-year-olds to gentleman drivers. So we can put the pedals in 4 different positions for shorter people and taller people.
Okay. And like you said, this is for adults as well as kids, even and I'll be honest with you, they're pretty close to the size of an F1 car.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been around a couple of F1s, other than the wings maybe in the front aerodynamic wing and the back wing. So what kind of motors do they have or engines?
It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder built for us by Elite Engines.
Okay, so it's not a Ford something or anything else.
It's based on a stock block, but it's all
okay.
modified.
And then the transmission is obviously got the rear axle, floating axles in them.
Yeah, it's called the transaxle, so it just bolts onto the back of the chassis, and it's the suspension and transmission and oil tank all in one.
And one of the things that you got to really learn if you're doing open wheel is steering wheels.
Yeah.
Because these are unlike anything in any other type of racing. So if you go into SCCA and you're racing on real tracks, right? I mean, you're racing on, like, you could go to Michigan, you could go to
we do
Ohio,
Audubon, Homestead, all the.
So these are like race cars, guys. They're not like, this isn't like, hey, training wheels on a bicycle. These are actually race cars. What would you think a top speed for somebody who knows how to drive? Like, if one of your instructors gets in, they could go.
Yeah, the top speed of these cars is about 130 miles an hour.
Okay, so yeah, they're real. They're not like the go-karts you rent down.
Yeah,
at your friend's house or something.
We do the schools, and we also have our own race series.
Okay.
So you get all you get the gentleman that just wanted to do this his whole life.
Right.
And then you get the people that want to move up to IndyCar and IMSA and things like that.
And then the other thing with you guys is, as you saw the big tractor trailers out there, is you don't have a track here.
No.
You travel to different tracks around the country, and you bring the cars. So if, say, somebody goes to this school and they get this license and stuff, and they get with you or they get in the series, you're going to bring the vehicles to the track.
Yeah.
So
we supply everything. We have helmets, we have race suits, we have everything you need.
And that's nice to know, because, guys, helmets, by the way, if you've been in racing, your helmet changes like every 2 or 3 years now with SCC. Every single time you buy a helmet, by the time you paint on it, they've changed it again. And the other thing is, you guys supply it, because when you go through tech, when you own a car, so if you guys, say you wanted to buy a kit like this and you bought something like this, which you could probably find one of these are for sale, not this particular, but there's used race cars for sale all the time. You would be responsible for passing tech and getting the little sticker that says you can race this thing on a track. And you have to go through tech all the time. These guys handle that. Yeah. So you're showing up and you're basically going, hey, I want a race car. Because you're not, and tires, which is probably one of the most expensive thing in racing, or it is if you're in the bigger cars, like when I was doing Mustangs and Pinots, tires are expensive. That's probably one of the biggest known entities, because they don't last and you don't want to have too many used tires. So you guys are supplying tires, all this stuff. Yeah. So
just show up with a good attitude and you're ready to go.
So, and then, so here's the, I'm going to get on the other side so maybe you can help. So here we're looking at the engine, but if you look at a steering wheel for these, and here's your racing seat, it is made for comfort. No, it's not. But your feet go way down in there. So your feet are going to be up in the nose section. And then here is your steering. Now, I never raced an open wheel. So do you guys call this a steering wheel?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys call it?
Still the steering wheel.
And all the buttons and stuff on here is pretty typical of an open wheel car, be it Indy, F1 or whatever. They all have these kind of weird
buttons. Yeah.
Now, are these buttons similar to, I mean, I assume every race car is going to be different when you get to the big leagues, right?
Yeah, they have adjustable diffs and all kinds of stuff on their steering wheels. A lot of these ones are just for changing the pages here. And then we have a pit speed limiter. To keep it down below 40 miles an hour in the pit lane.
So that'll automatically do it. They don't have to know what their RPM. They're not going by an RPM. They're just going to click this button.
They click the button, and as long as you're over 40 miles an hour, then it slows you down and just runs at 40 miles an hour down the pit lane.
Now, I have watched a couple like open wheel races, and they have a button or something that's like they get so much, I want to say boost. For lack of, do you know what I'm talking about? There's like a button that like they get like 15 seconds to push to pass.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
Okay, so you don't get into that.
No. And then we have paddle shifters on the back.
Okay.
So there is no shift lever. It's up shift and down shift.
Okay, so they're learning that. And then this is the radio?
That's actually the recorder for the camera. We have an onboard camera system here.
Okay. And does that, now do they get, if there were, did they get access to the video, or
Yeah.
is that more for you guys,
Yeah,
or
if you
both?
do the basic school, our introductory school, which
Right.
is a 2-day racing school where you
Okay.
go from learning nothing, doing a lead follow, to lapping at the same speed everybody normally
And they
would
can
lap at.
call you guys regarding how much that would cost to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So-
So you get to keep all your video from that event.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Sean, and you guys have watched 4.5 million times our videos. We have over 755 videos up right now, and we only have 20,000 subscribers. So if you love our channel, there's 3 ways you can really help. You can subscribe, you can like, and if you want any of our gear, from t-shirts from when we were on the Hot Rod Power Tour, to coffee mugs, stickers, hats, bags, baby onesies, everything, please watch what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go to my homepage, click here. Once you click on this, it takes you to our official JYBF store. You can go in, you can pick any of the different designs that we have, and we have a bunch, as you can see. And once you've picked the design that you want, you can put it on everything from a hat to a tote bag to a gym bag to a sweatshirt to a hoodie to baby diaper bags to baby diapers, I think. I don't know. We have like literally hundreds of different items here in different colors. You choose the color, you choose whatever design you want. Pay for it, they ship it to you from the warehouse. You will get it right away. If there's any issues, you can return them if you have to. We take credit cards. We've been shipping stuff around, and I see you guys wearing it. So if you want to help us, the channel, please go to the store and click on that, find something you like, and hopefully I'll see you somewhere. You know, we're already all around the country. In fact, so the next time you're out and you see me, give me a yell. And then I'll put you on the channel wearing some of our gear. Okay.
And then anybody in our advanced group, which is sort of the next step, where you come out and you're still getting critiqued by instructors.
Right.
But it's more about just putting laps in. And you have access to the video as long as you bring your own SD card or a laptop or something.
And if somebody wanted to sign up for this, do they go to where do they go?
LucasRaceSchool.com.
So LucasRaceSchool.com.
Yep.
You would contact you guys and then let you know where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Are you on the road a lot?
Yeah. We do usually a couple events per month.
Okay.
We usually have a school at a track, and then about a week or so, and then we come back and do a race at the same track. So
when you're going through the first school, the initial, hey, I've never been in a race car, get out of your Ford Pinto, get into this thing, that is, you're not going to be out there like Speed Racer against 70 other cars at the first time. Like,
no, there's usually
like you're
8 to 10.
and you guys kind of start with the single file stuff and then learn different things.
And kind of everybody's a part. And then it's actually amazing seeing people that have never even sat in a car like this before. By the end of the second day, they're passing, they're doing everything that a normal race car driver would do.
And this is not just for guys. This is like girl. And I'll be honest with you, and I'll be honest with you guys. Right now, not NASCAR, because there's nobody in NASCAR, but women right now are some of the top drivers, and they are technical. Like, I think I'd be honest with you, you would think that they would have an issue because it hasn't been a lot of women over the years, but every time I've seen a woman race, they are way so much more technical and stuff, because they want to learn every single thing about a car, where you get some idiot jock like me that just jumps in and goes, I want to go fast.
Yeah, I
can go fast. I can hit the pedal and go fast. They know everything about the cars.
Last week we did our winter race series at Homestead, and we had a female in there, and she was mixing it up with the guys like everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to find there is no worry about, it's not a physical thing, because most of your race drivers are smaller guys, they're smaller people. It has nothing to do with physical. Most of racing, once you get competition, is mental.
Yeah.
And I think probably when you're learning, because it's been so long, it's been 2 decades since I went through one of these schools, but this kind of stuff, you really have to be mental on your game, especially with the open wheels, because if wheels hit each other, it can go bad real fast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
Now what happens in the school if somebody accidentally goes off the track in a spin, or they have a little smack with somebody else by accident? Is that like, do they have insurance that they have to cover this with? Like, how does that work?
Part of it is insured by us,
Okay.
but there is a certain cost up to a certain amount. We have it capped off. So if you come to the school, you're not worried that if I have a crash, that
I'm buying this car.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a car.
Yeah.
So
Like,
it's capped at a pretty small amount.
Because I can tell you guys, I don't care what Dale Earnhardt says, Nationwide doesn't cover you on a track. And
Yeah.
I had a pile of cars at my house that was a pile, and no deductible, no payment. It just was like, here you go, take what you can off it, and
Yeah.
get rid of the rest. So, but this is really neat. And then, so you're on the road. Do you do this, guys? Is this year round? Like, do you go up north in the summers, and then you're down in the southern states, Florida and stuff?
Yeah, mostly Florida in the winter.
Okay.
And then we're going to do, starting in June, we go all up the East Coast.
Okay. And they could go on now and say, hey, I want, like, if you guys, I don't know if y'all go to Pocono or somewhere, but, or Ohio, I'm sure you go to mid-Ohio,
Yeah.
right? So, or mid-America rather. And you guys go up there, is it mostly road racing? Is it mostly,
All
circle
road
track?
racing,
It's all road racing. Okay. So these actually turn right and left.
Yeah.
So that's a little different too. So, but it's very cool. And then these are all the cars, and you can see the noses are probably piled up there. Is that what those are? The nose cones?
That's the engine cover.
Okay.
Here. Yeah.
So, and then if, say, somebody likes these cars and they just want to do this for fun and they're not ever going to go to Formula One or anything, what does something like this cost, if you even know? Like, one of these cars, like what ballpark are you talking? Like,
The actual cost of the car,
yeah.
it's about a $35,000 car.
Okay, so if somebody really gets to school, goes through it, starts racing it, and goes, I want my own, can they get their own and then stay in your Lucas Oil?
No.
So they just want. So there is no outside car. So there's not going to be.
It's just our cars.
Okay, so it's not going to be some guy that comes in and he has his car and you're going to race against him and his is all whatever.
No, and that's the nice thing about it. We work very hard to keep them all as close to the same as we can.
Yeah.
So when you do our race series, all the cars are identical.
And I notice they're all. I mean, obviously race cars are numbered, but these are actual numbers, like for whatever number car. So
Yeah.
technically, or the idea, I'm assuming the philosophy is that it wouldn't matter what car you get in, it should be the same.
Yeah.
Even though when we all been to the fair and there's some bumper cars that go faster than bumper cars. You might have one that's a little bit better, a little bit worse, but for the most part, within 1% or something.
They're all very close. They may handle a little different. They are cars.
Right.
And that's kind of part of how we teach too, is, you get in one car and it might have a tendency to have a little bit of understeer. You might get in another car, it might be a little bit loose. But it's all about learning. That's what we're here for as a school.
Well, that's the thing. Now, when they come to the school, are they assigned, like, this is your car number 4? Or are they given different cars to see how it handles differently?
At the school, you're generally assigned a car.
Okay.
And that's your car, unless something happens to it.
Okay.
That's your car for the school. For our race series, you draw cars out of a hat.
Okay.
Basically,
So you
it's
won't
random.
have, you can't go,
You can't say,
I had number 4. I like that car.
I like that car. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
And
all
then
random.
now I'm assuming, and maybe I'm completely wrong. I know when you do the big series cars, they have a button, and when they come into the pits, they push a button, and the jacks come out from the bottom and lift them up.
Yeah, no.
Not with
like
these.
that. No.
The jacks are the jack.
Yeah, we don't do hot pit stops or anything.
Okay. So their pit stops are kind of like where everybody pulls in
Yeah.
together. Stops are not timed. You're not racing each other for.
Yeah, because
the pit.
our races are generally 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
So there's no need for a pit
And
stop.
so the races are kind of how SCCA is it's basically a time
Yeah.
and how many laps you get in that time.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of what most people think. Like with NASCAR, I'm going Daytona 500. The Daytona 500 is who gets to the 500 mile the fastest.
Yeah.
These
Yeah,
are
ours
more
by
who
time.
does the most the most length in a period of time, like Le Mans, where they're 24-hour Le Mans. So, and then once they get their license for this, what's the do you guys offer, or do you have a somewhere if they want to go even higher up, or once they have their license, this if they then it's just looking for a ride if they want to actually do this professionally?
Yeah,
and
if
move
somebody
on.
wants to do it professionally, then it's sort of up to them to choose. We're always there with advice. The owner's son races IndyCar.
Okay.
So he's been through the whole system of how teams work and everything. So we're always there with advice to parents of what to do as the next step.
And and I'm just wondering, do you have, you may even not even know, but they may be there, is race team owners of the next level that are starting to look for who the next person is, who's the next guy. Because I mean, I think Tony Stewart started in something similar to this. A lot of times they'll start in go-karts. This is probably, I guess, the next step up from a go-kart.
Yeah.
So, and even if your kid likes stock cars, or even if they like drag racing, or you like stock cars or drag racing and you don't know anything about it, this is something that really could be a great introduction, because I know there's one or two drag racing schools, but they're far between. And stock car, this is how people get started in racing for stock cars. So if you're somebody who's a parent that wants to either try it yourself or get your child into it, go to the Lucas Oil and go to this, and it's
LucasRaceSchool.com.
LucasRaceSchool.com. I'm going to put a link to that on here. But if you're somebody who's, put it on it, because you don't know who, and if say you want to put your son in here, but you have a son and a daughter, bring the daughter and put her in one too. Because like I say, they'll surprise you. And a lot of times, and actually, if you even ask Dale Earnhardt Jr., because when I was up there, Dale Earnhardt Jr., his sister actually was he'll say his sister was a better driver than he was when they started out. I mean, after a while when she dropped out to run the business. But yeah, I mean, this is not just for one or the other. And if you're not interested, it's fine. But the other thing is too, this can help you in real life driving as well, because it gets you your reflex. You understand how cars work. So if you're somebody who is very nervous about maybe your 15 or 14-year-old going to be driving in 2 years, this cannot hurt at all.
Yeah, not at all. They learn what a car's going to do when it starts to slide or something. So when you get into a situation, a panic braking situation or something, it's not new now. It's something you've done before, and the muscle memory will tell you, if your brakes are locked up, the car's not going to turn and things like that.
Yeah, so there's so many reasons to actually come out and do this.
Absolutely.
And it's price packages are going to change, so I don't actually ask dollar amounts, but it's an affordable fantasy. It's an affordable thing for a weekend. It's worth a birthday or Christmas present, something, a graduation present day.
Yeah, we got
a really cool date night.
Yeah,
so
we got plenty of people that it's just their bucket list thing.
Yeah, and so it's really nice. You don't have to know about cars. You don't have to buy anything. Safer than skydiving.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, it's great. And if you've never done 135 or 130 or 110 miles in a car, it's a safe way to do it. So if you're somebody who gets a lot of speeding tickets and you just feel that need, this is a place you can do it for, and you get, you get little trophies for it. Yeah. So. But hey man, I apprate it. Thank you for talking. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you're thinking of?
You've covered pretty much all of it.
So, but like I said, you want to go, and we'll put the link there. And how many slots are there usually when you go somewhere? So if you're going up to Michigan or somewhere.
When we run our schools, we'll do the basic school, and then we do advanced.
Right.
So the people in the school will run, and then they get out, the advanced people get in, they do their laps. And we usually have about 14, 15 of each.
Okay. So, but you have enough cars usually to cover anybody who wants to be there.
Yeah, we have 20 cars.
And you have one or two spares even too.
Yeah.
And now, do you guys travel? Like, does your mechanics and all travel as well? Because I notice there's big trucks out there. So
yeah. There's usually 6 of us working on the cars at the events.
Okay. Well, there you go, man. So this is the thing. Look at, I mean, they're all waiting on you guys. Everybody watching this. So, you know, if you're near and if you scheduled ahead of time, you could probably, there's probably other events that you can go to or stay at the track, watch other people do this kind of stuff. And you said you guys are at Sebring. Now, when you're at Sebring, are you down there when they're doing other classes as well? Like, not classes, I mean class of cars. Like
Sebring has multiple track configurations.
Right.
So sometimes we'll be there on one part of the track when IndyCar's testing on another part of the track. But as far as racing goes, it's usually just us there on our part of the track.
Yeah. And also, if you're, say, maybe you're somebody who wants to learn about this because you own a business that wants to sponsor something. If you're, you know, you're somebody who wants to get involved in the business end of this, maybe you're somebody who's going to school. Like I went to FSU film school, but we had guys there that were in like sports, and they wanted to be like agents and work in the marketing departments and stuff. This would be a great way to find out if racing, the world of racing, is for you, because there's a lot of, not just drivers, but there's a lot of, like, if you're somebody who wants to build stuff, I don't know, but I would say, if you know, you may not have an opportunity where you live except for the track when these guys come. If you take a day, learn how to drive this, then you can start learning how to design this. And you guys are probably open to talking about the engine stuff to the kids that are people that are driving.
There's a lot of people that come out that are just as thrilled by the fact that they get to be around a racing car as they are to drive it.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. It's the world of racing. It's an introduction. You don't have to know anybody. You don't have to have a name. You don't have to be somebody like Logano who, you know, you don't have to come from rich parents. It's basically a fun thing. And, you know, then once you know this, then maybe you'll put your child into courses, because I can tell you right now, I'm 57 years old. I'm still paying off my student loan. So if you can do something that makes a good living that you don't have to go to college for, or that you can go to another school or learn how to do a skill like this, or a skill working on it, or you want to be a part of the racing world, this is like the best first step. And the only person you're competing with at the beginning is yourself anyway. It's like golf at the beginning. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you love this stuff. I hope you'll call. I hope you'll schedule. If you guys schedule any of this stuff, let me know. Send me your video, and we'll throw it up on the channel, because that would be cool. I may even get me in April on one of these things, and we'll race when they're in Sebring, because that's close to here. And April always wants, April's dad raced, and so maybe we'll race each other in one of these cars. So thanks for watching, and subscribe and all that stuff, and buy our merchandise and all that kind of stuff, and have a great day. Should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.